Trump taking a bold step in the Russia investigation, ordering the declassification of the Carter Page FISA warrant and other critical documents. And the probe joining us now exclusively with more is Republican Congressman Devin Nunes, chairman of the House Intel Committee, who says the Democrats should be frightened about these documents' declassification release. Congressman Nunes, a couple things that our viewers need to understand tonight. The documents that are going to be released are regarding the Carter Page 2017 FISA application and the Bruce Orr, Justice Department official, Bruce Orr written reports about the FISA application, correct?
Yeah, so it'll be the 20 pages of the last FISA that was approved on Carter Page, which will have basically everything that was in it from number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Of what we think the American people need to understand, that this is actually the insurance policy that was talked about in the struck page text. So a lot of people think the insurance policy was getting a FISA warrant on Carter Page. We actually believe it was more explicit than that. We believe it was actually that the insurance policy was specifically what they did that still is redacted, that the president has said that he's going to declassify, he's ordered it declassified. There are about a dozen Bruce Orr 302s. Those are significant not just because of the Carter Page FISA, but also because it shows the interaction between Christopher Steele, Fusion GPS, and many other rotten apples within the FBI that were up to no good. Finally, there is exculpatory information that the president has ordered declassified that needs to happen. And then additionally, I think everybody knows there are text messages between the top leaders at the FBI at the time that the president has ordered declassified. And this is going to be a great day for the American people.
Okay, so are you concerned that there will be a great lag in time? Congressman, with the DNI, Director of National Intelligence, has to review this first, correct? And then they will be released, no questions, no question about it.
Well, no, the President of the United States was very clear in the statement that he put out today. So 20 pages with no redactions. So that is as simply as going to the Department of Justice, making 20 copies, and sending it out to the press. It's very, very simple. The only thing that could take a little bit of time would be the interviews that are in conjunction with the FISA, Carter Page FISA. That could be a little problematic, but I would think if the leader of the free world, the President of the United States, who has had to deal with this Russia nonsense for this long, if he orders it done, this shouldn't take more than a few days. But we're ready for it to take more than a few days because we're used to it. But ultimately, it's going to get out.
Adam Schiff today, of course, the ranking member of House Intel, said President Trump, in a clear abuse of power, has decided to intervene in a pending law enforcement investigation by ordering the selective release of materials he believes are helpful to his defense team, and he will advance a false narrative, already attempting to set in stone what these documents say, Congressman. To me, it looks very defensive on the part of Adam Schiff. Why so defensive? Why not just like, well, okay, it was the president's decision, and wouldn't the American people like to see this after all this time?
Well, the mainstream media is also buying the Kool-Aid that this is going to endanger national security. And, I don't know how many times they're going to run that play call, but it's laughable that they're saying this is going to somehow endanger national security. You've heard me say this and many others say this. This is really full transparency for the American people. This will be all the information really that I think the American people will need to see, because for 2 years we've been force-feeding this Russia Kool-Aid to the American people, so much so that you have the media involved in it, the mainstream media, the poor American people. I feel bad for some of these people who are part of this resistance movement, who actually believe that the president is under control by the Russians and Republicans in Congress and controlled by the Russians. This is crazy talk, Laura.
Well, didn't Lisa Page,
this is what's happened with this.
Yeah, in one of those text messages, though, didn't she basically say, well, they had no indication of Russian collusion? Like in 2016, well, they had to basically find something, or they tried to find something. That's why they needed the FISA.
Well, this was always an investigation in search of a crime. I supported Mueller when he was first appointed, largely because I thought, great, we have a good guy that was there before. He'll come in quickly, see that there's no evidence of collusion, except maybe there might be collusion between the Democrats and the Russians, which there is, which the special counsel's done nothing about. Nobody's investigated it. And now this thing has just gone on so long that it's scary to see the mainstream media, many Americans who have bought into this Russia Kool-Aid. It's really, really scary.
Now, well, they've abdicated the whole role of being calling balls and strikes at this point. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it, with an exclusive take on this declassification. This is what everybody's been asking for, and we await these documents.
He is the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, Congressman Devin Nunes. On the issue of challenging the president's executive authority, it is very clear constitutionally. Article 2, Section 1 gives the president unfettered authority over all executive branch matters. The executive power shall be vested in the president of the United States. This isn't even in question, is it?
It's quite clear, Sean, and thanks for having me on again, as usual. This is quite clear. This is not complicated. We have seen most of this information. And I mean, in terms of the FISA, it's only 20 pages. All you have to do is make a copy and send it out, put it on the internet. So at this point, I do not understand why this hasn't been declassified. The president said, declassify it immediately without redactions.
Is there any national security concerns?
No, and we've heard this same story over and over again. The same people that are out there that are running around saying, oh, there's national security concerns with this, we're going to reveal some sources and methods, happen to be the same people who are involved. They're either covering up for their agency or they are involved. And that's totally unacceptable. And this is why we have to continue to get this message out to the American people that have been force-fed this Russian Kool-Aid. This is just Russian Kool-Aid that was force-fed on the American people for 2 years. 2 years, Sean.
Mr.
I mean,
Chairman,
you've been covering it. But
you said the declassification will explain the struck page insurance policy. Explain that, and what else will we learn that you can tell us from when we get the unredacted information?
Well, we believe the insurance policy that many people know about, that was around August, that there were text messages on that, August of 16. A lot of people believe that that was actually the FISA itself onto Carter Page. We actually don't believe that. We believe they were very concerned about the dossier. We believe they know they were trying to snooker the FISA court and fool the judges, and they needed something else. And so James Comey has called it a mosaic of facts. Well, we need to see the rest of those facts, and that's what we want released.
And Lisa Page said for 9 months they were not able to find anything, and then we learned about a media leak strategy. It seems to now all be coming together, isn't it? Do you believe people in the highest levels of the FBI and the DOJ committed crimes against the United States and tried to undo a presidential election?
Well, I think many crimes could have been broken, and I have said this numerous times, that I don't know how DOJ and FBI investigate themselves, because they are all implicated in this. I'd like to see them do that, but they just are not taking action on it. As it relates, I want to make another point. The text messages between all of them and text messages they were sending. You don't get to send out classified information on your cell phone. It's not classified. If it's classified, then right there and then they should be held accountable, because they broke the law if they were sending classified information over cell phones. So that should be declassified immediately. So right. Look, I don't know that I believe some of the news stories that are out there. However, many news reporters have now said that they are stalling, that people within the DOJ and FBI are stalling on purpose.
And you will release the key Russiagate depositions before the election. I only have a second.
That's correct. Yep.
All right, Mr. Chairman, thank you for being transparent. We appreciate it.